Or
And then
silence.
then we say, everybody's always listening to something in their head all the time.
Okay, let me get it from there.
Okay, you got it? Okay, good.
Okay. Okay, so everybody has to listen to something in your head.
It's always
It's
listening.
always listening to something. So we're gonna demonstrate it right now. So I want everybody to be quiet for 20 seconds. And I want that you pay attention. What did you listen
When you hear yourself,
when you heard yourself?
when you hear yourself talk.
Raise your hand. When you heard yourself talking, raise your hand. So we're gonna stay quiet for 20 seconds, okay? Everybody quiet, and when you heard yourself talking, you're gonna raise your hand. Let's start the time. Okay. Okay. And then,
Wait,
no,
is
and
your
then you
hand
didn't,
up or
yeah,
not?
you didn't
Is your
raise your
hand
hand.
up or not?
If I heard myself talking,
Uh-huh.
raise my hand.
Okay, my
Did you
hand
raise
is
it?
down. My
Okay,
hand is
I
down.
saw that. So, excellent.
My hand is down.
I got it. So do I need to go with them, just to what did they heard? Or
Okay,
after?
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So what did you heard to yourself, buddy?
I was thinking it's a peach color shirt and would probably look nicer in darker orange.
That's what you're listening. I got
Those
it.
are interesting shoes.
Yeah, different. I love it. Thank you. I'm gonna go a little fast. Patty, what you heard yourself in those
Oh,
20
I
seconds?
heard Bonnie's stomach growling and it made me think, I wonder how she is.
Is that a lunch? We have already lunch, Bonnie. What was that? Okay, so you heard yourself like, what's going on with Bonnie? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, when are we gonna?
Excellent. Well, when are we gonna eat?
When are we gonna have dinner?
Dinner at 6. Don't worry about it. Okay.
What are you talking about?
Okay, that's what you heard about it. Okay. Got it. What are you talking about? I saw your hand at the end.
Yeah, I was listening to some, I was saying something or was I listening to something? What did I do?
I don't know. You told me you were listening to something.
I
or you
heard
were-
something.
You heard something. What did you
You said I
hear?
was saying that to myself?
Yeah. So what did you hear to yourself?
Something about, a rapper talking, I heard a rap.
Some rap. Somebody was rapping.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, that's cool.
KRS-One was talking about listening.
Okay.
That's what I heard.
All right. Some rapping. Okay. Claudia, you didn't raise your hand.
I didn't hear anything.
You didn't hear anything. So that's what you heard. So is that first that you heard? I don't heard anything. Is what you were heard.
Yeah, I heard.
Well, that's what you heard. So you heard I don't heard anything.
Oh, okay.
So did you hear something? All right. So now raise your hand if you didn't hear anything. So Claudia like, oh, I didn't hear anything. That's what you were hearing. Anybody else? So can you see?
Say what you just said slow, because that's very important.
Okay. So even though when you said I don't heard anything, that's what you're hearing. So we're gonna hear something at all the time. Raise your hand if that makes sense to you. All right, cool. All right. So now, you wanna finish it with Bonnie?
She just did it again.
Okay. So Bonnie. So now you did it like that. So that was your dance. So what were you hearing before you say that?
Like I feel like moving.
Okay. So what do you tell yourself?
Move my hair.
Okay. Do we go to command?
So yes, 3 parts to this. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
What is the second one? If the command is the third.
sensation.
I see.
No, sensation is the first.
No, association is the first one. And then the second one is.
Do something.
Okay. So when we're gonna have. Oh. Fine. So Bonnie,
So she said,
you said
I feel like moving.
I feel like moving.
okay, that's the second, but I feel like.
Okay, I feel like moving. Okay, so in these we're gonna have 3 parts. We have the sensation.
Okay, but no,
No.
you're gonna mess it up.
Okay,
So let me do it.
you do it.
So you probably felt like moving, but it told you, it said I feel like moving. What happened See, there was a minute before or 30 seconds before, and you didn't say, I feel like moving. Because you didn't move. Then something happened, and then you said, I felt like moving. I feel like moving. Something happened, and what happened?
Like my shoulder felt tight.
Okay, that's perfect. My shoulders were tight. That's it. Shoulders tight. So first you had a sensation, tightness. And then you told yourself, I feel like moving. And then you did what? Then you told yourself something after it. You told yourself to move. When?
Like move my hair.
When?
When?
After I felt the sensation.
When?
Well, you said I'm gonna move tomorrow morning?
Now.
Right,
Okay.
so it told you to move now. Okay. Right now. Right here.
What?
Now. N-O-W. Now.
Now?
So every thought you have, everything that you do has three parts to it. Like the music, you can't just dance to one word. It's a whole sentence and then some instruments in the background. There's a whole lot of things that make up the music for you to dance. Sometimes there's no words, but it could be a cappella, but it takes a whole thing to make you dance. And we're saying that this is the music. So have a stand up, Bonnie. Do the dance step you were just doing with your hair. That's the now it's a song. Sing the song. And you had 3 lines. My shoulders are tight. I feel like moving, move now. And then do the dance steps. So sing your song.
My shoulders tight. I feel like moving, move now.
Right. So can you see, Barney, that you can't, just because your shoulders are tight, you can't do this without a whole lot of stuff going on here. You can't do this. That something has to tell you what to do. You can't do this alone. And it can't say, remember when you dance, you're listening to salsa music? You dance what?
Salsa music.
So, and can it say, my back is tight, I want to move, pick my nose? Can it say, my back is tight, I feel like dancing, move your shoulders, and then you pick your nose?
No,
No, why?
because it's not consistent. It doesn't match.
Just like the music, when you dance, when you hear salsa, do you dance waltz?
No.
But that everything that you do is a match for what, every dance is a match for the music, and everything that you do is a match for the song that's in your head. But it doesn't really sound like a song, but it tells you to do something. Okay, thank you, have a sit down. So Dickie, you just moved. You gonna do Dickie now? You do Dickie.
I do?
Same thing. You just moved to what I just did with her. You just moved like this. Pass, I gave it to you.
So you just move like this. So that was your dance. So what do you tell yourself?
I'm uncomfortable. Move into a better position.
Okay, so I'm uncomfortable is the sensation. So you want to tell I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then what do you tell?
Move,
Uh-huh.
and then move now.
And then you say now. So can you see that you have to do all these 3 before you dance? Before you make the move,
Yes.
which is your dance. Okay, now can you sing it? Oh,
Okay, go ahead.
oh.
Go ahead.
So can you give me that as your music? Remember that Bonnie did it? So you said that I feel
I
uncomfortable.
feel uncomfortable. I need to move.
I need
No, you gotta sing.
Do, now do it, sing it.
Oh,
Has to
sing.
be, yeah, it has to
Oh.
be like a song.
Okay.
Any rhythm, Any type of
Any
music.
rhythm.
Yeah, you can do
Oh,
mushroom.
so I can
or
do my
cumbia.
march, I can do
Yeah,
my
yeah,
march,
you
I
can
can
do
do
it,
music,
whatever
right.
you wanna do it.
I need to move, sorry, I'm uncomfortable, I need to move now.
No,
That's a song, that's not
fucking
singing.
fast.
You have to sing it. Has to be a song.
Sing.
That's how you know the music.
Uncomfortable.
Just like Bunny. Try what Bunny
What you
did.
just did.
One more time, Bunny. Just give me that line.
I'm uncomfortable.
All right, go, Dicky. You can do it. Come on.
I'm uncomfortable.
No, that's talking.
You can.
I'm uncomfortable. Come on.
Okay,
He is really uncomfortable.
Yeah. Right now, I know that you are uncomfortable.
You play march music.
no, I know, I'm just trying to think of how to sing that, that's why I'm like, I'm uncomfortable, I don't like moving, now.
Love. Woo! I love it. I love it. Excellent.
So there's 2 points to make. There's 2 points to make here now. So what is the sensation? One is telling you what to do, and the third part is telling you when to do it. And it's not always now. So let me give you an example. Suppose you were at a job interview and you felt like belching, like, bleh. And it would say, I feel something in my throat, belch. And what will it say? Belch when?
Not
Oh,
now.
Not
now.
now. and you won't belch. So not everything isn't a now. But what I want you to know, what most people are trying to avoid is feelings in their body. You felt tight, you felt uncomfortable. We're always trying to avoid sensations in our bodies. You are old enough, so I'm gonna say this. Even when you're having sex, it feels good and you wanna have an orgasm. That kills the feeling. It's the end of the feeling. We are always trying to avoid being present to the feelings, that the sensations that are. Why did you just move your leg?
I guess I'm feeling anxious.
No. So I feel anxious. How does that feel? Because anxious is a concept. So she felt tightness. I could have gotten him to tell me what was uncomfortable, but I'm working with you. So what was the sensation in your body?
Like,
Can I help her? You were talking about orgasm? So, ramen. Okay, I took
Look, man is looking like a
So
what?
you're moving your leg again. What is that feeling that has you keep moving your legs, your feet?
like nervous.
What is the sensation? You have to feel. You have to get out of your head and into your body.
It feels like I have energy that doesn't have a place to go.
So that's more concept, but it's getting closer. So how does that energy feel? Feels like what? Like you got worms in your body? Like what?
I guess if there's some, it's not tightness like a muscular tightness, but it just feels like I'm constrained.
You feel constrained? Where? Does it feel warm, cold, hard, soft? This is really important because what determines your action? What determines your action? What determines if you move? What determined if you moved your foot?
The thought, the command to tell you.
The command, but what control, what came before the command?
The assessment of this, the thought about the sensation.
Yes, and what caused this judgment about the sensation?
When it's in the
The sensation. So what's running the show here?
the thought.
The thought? What comes, can you have a thought without a sensation? Can you have the thought, I feel like moving without a sensation?
Well, I guess not.
No, so what's running the show here?
I guess
The sensation is running the show. You can see that. And you can have a sensation. Most people don't know that being nervous and excited feels almost the same way. Most people don't know being horny and being ready to create, be creative, they feel the same way. So the sensation is there, and then you call it something. You're the one that said, I'm uncomfortable. Could it be possible you could just have a sensation and not be uncomfortable? It's the same as, is it possible that you need a belch right now and not belch?
Well, like right now I have a itch right here, and I really want to scratch it.
So is it possible that you can have an itch and not scratch it?
No, but it's really hard.
So is it possible though?
Yes.
Who are my fighters? So when most fighters are they? Would you open your eyes? Okay. Most fighters, when you fight, do you tick tick boom? Okay, so
Tick boom.
tick boom. So yours happen real fast.
Mhm.
So there's something that happened. What do? You punch first?
Yeah.
So you punch, and so it tells you punch, and you punch now. But what did you feel before you punched?
Heat.
You felt heat. So what were you trying to do? Avoid what?
The heat.
The heat.
Yeah.
And the way
Burning
you,
up.
right, the way you avoid the heat was to punch.
Mhm.
You got that.
Mhm.
And the rest of you got that. What he was trying, when you moved, you was trying to avoid the tightness. When you move, so sensation is a very powerful thing. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but this is really what's behind running your life. But most of you can't get to this, so we're going to start here. So where are all these things happening?
In our heads.
In your head. But if I open up your head, I'm not gonna find anything that goes, there's not gonna be a sentence that says, I'm uncomfortable, move now. I'm not gonna find that in your head. I'm not gonna find it in your brain either. But it's gonna be somewhere, and I don't know where it is. But you have, they exist in words, but they're called, where are they?
Not in thoughts.
They're in your thoughts. They're not in your mind, they're not in your brain. We can't find them, but we don't know where thoughts are. Like the location, but we know this thing we're calling thoughts. Yes? Okay, so either way. So music determines the dance. Your thoughts determine your what?
What are you gonna do? What I'm gonna do?
Your thoughts determine what you're gonna do? Okay, and then when you do it, what is it called? So every one of you give me a different answer.
Behavioral?
Don't say,
Okay.
Movement.
so your thoughts determine your movement. That's really good. Your thoughts determine,
the word,
Vicky, your thoughts determine your
Thoughts determine, your time?
time? Explain me.
I don't know if you wanna be difficult, I'm just saying that there's the thought, I feel like moving, and now. So the thought
No,
determines
so
now.
now is part of the thought.
Okay,
Now is part of the thought. Good try. Your thoughts determine,
My action.
No,
yeah, that's good too. Your thoughts determine,
Energy.
your thoughts determine your energy. Well, how do you explain that?
When I have energy to do something.
Okay, yeah, it gives you energy to do something, but when you do it, those things are called your what? We have, they call your movement, we have that they call your actions. You have another word?
No, actions.
Okay, so the word we're gonna use is action. Did you see I didn't make you wrong? I just did, because it was a good word, but it just didn't fit.
So when we get the first participant to get the action, we continue working with another two
I
or
don't
three?
take the first one.
Okay. Even though they said actions.
I act like they never said it.
Got it.
Like I did, I act like he didn't say it.
And then you move, okay.
so if I said behavior, you check in with the whole room.
No, not the whole room. With just few,
Oh,
but not
so
the
you
whole
check in with
room.
few, so that there's enough there, and then map it onto, we're gonna use the word action.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's how I would do it. I have to always make sure more than one person is listening. So you can see your thoughts determine your actions. Okay, you're the fighter, right?
Mhm.
Why did you hit him?
Hi. Upset.
You ever had a fight?
Yeah.
Why did you hit her?
She gets me off.
Right, she was in your face, she pissed you off. Now, let's look at how it went down. Let's look at how it goes down. You hit her because what? You had a thought. What was the thought?
I'm gonna get this bitch.
Okay? And that was a thought, and then you told yourself to do something.
Get her down.
What does that mean, get her?
I want to do it.
Okay, you want to get her.
Yeah.
And then it told you when.
Now.
Okay. So why did you hit her?
Well, cause she called me names.
Okay. Let's do this again. You had a feeling and you said, I'm going to get her. And then I got her.
Cause she started it, but yeah.
Okay? Why did you hit her?
Cause I was mad and I had the thought.
So who had the thought?
I had the thought
So why did you hit her?
because I had the thought to hit her.
And the thought to hit her when?
Now.
Yeah. So why did you hit her?
Because I had the thought to hit her.
So who's responsible for hitting her?
I am.
Now, there's been times other people tick you off and you get heated and you say, I'm not gonna do anything right now. So you can see the times you didn't hit somebody, how come you didn't hit them?
Like, I'll get in trouble or they're bigger than me.
And you didn't hit them because what?
Cause I had a thought saying that's not a good idea.
And so you didn't hit them because you had the thought, and the thought told you what to do or what not to do. So who's responsible when you hit them?
I am.
And who's responsible when you don't hit them?
I am.
You see, here's the thing, you would probably think, before this conversation, you would think the other person made you hit them. But you can begin to see that you can have a thought. You have thoughts. And guess what's running your life?
I thought.
Right, because can you do anything without a thought? Who makes up your thoughts?
I do.
Well, who else could get in your head?
My mom sometimes.
No, your mom gets in your head, but who hears her voice?
I do.
And whose head is it in?
Mine.
So who's hearing your mother?
Me.
Okay, and then you respond to whatever you hear. But who's doing that? Right, so who's running your life?
I am.
When?
Always.
That's right. Always. It's not your mom, it's not the teacher, it's not the policeman, it's not your race, it's not your gender, it's not the country, but your thoughts are running your life. You got that? So your thoughts determine your actions. Now, that's the first part. That's the second part to this process. So the first part was the stations, the second part was this, and we're not gonna do we could do the third part for a minute. The third part is, anybody remember what's the third part? Yes. The observer, right? Yes. So, what, in this program, we want you, where is everything happening? Where are your thoughts?
In my head.
Well, we actually don't know where they're happening because they're not in your head, but we say they happen like right here. And so if they're, you can do observer? Try it.
Just the side, right?
No, you gotta draw,
Oh, yeah.
draw the eye.
I know.
You, I just wanna see this much
Last time I tried to draw the eye.
They didn't like my eye. They don't, I have to always tell them this is mine.
Katie does a good eye.
Katie does a
Does a
good
good
eye.
eye.
I tell them this is mine. They go, it looks like a half of the sun.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't want to keep doing it. That's good like mine.
No, that's pretty good.
What's the eye?
Stop 'em.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Good
Actually,
job.
this is a titty. And,
Sometimes they tell me mine is a titty too.
Really?
Yeah, they go, baby needs milk.
Oh.
so what we're aware of right now is that the thought is occurring. It's happening where?
Somewhere.
You are listening to a thought where? Who's listening to the thought?
I know.
I am.
Right. So it's somewhere that you are observing that this thought is happening. And so we could say that just like listening, you could also say that you are observing this thought. Yeah. And what we have here is this. It's supposed to be an eye. And so the person who this eye belongs to is actually aware of what this entire process, what's going on for this entire process. You see that? The most important, powerful thing in this conversation is that who is doing the observing of this conversation? Who is it? Yeah, you can see that. Now, most of the time, this conversation is not you are unaware of this conversation. You just take an action. A lot of people say they don't think before they act. You know, you can act without thinking.
The devil made me do this.
Yeah. So we're clear right now, though, from this, as we've unfolded this, revealed this, that there's always a conversation, a thought going on before you act. Clear?
Yes.
Now, imagine that that conversation is in the background. Let's say, I mean, you have to, everything's happen in the front, but now we're saying that something is going on in the background. We could call it the back room. Something's happening in the back room that's causing the action in the front of us. We can see the action, but we cannot see the thought that's going on. You with me? What we're going to do now is invent what we call an observer. We're actually going to take what's in the background and say to ourselves that we're going to bring it forward into the foreground. So no longer is it going to be in the background unknown to us. We're going to begin to develop an ability to listen, to observe what's in the background that's causing the thing to happen in the foreground, which is your action. So now we're bringing what's in the background, called your thought, this entire process, from your feeling it to your saying something about it to you saying when you're going to do something about it. And we're going to do it like this. So I want you to put your hand in the back. And we're going to turn on, activate the observer in us. Which means that from now on, what's going on in the background is actually going to be in the foreground with the action that is going to happen from it. With me? So we're going to make a sound. It's going to sound like this. Is that going to sound? All right, here we go. So I want you to activate your observer. That sounded pretty weak. We're going to pull it back and we're going to grab it like we got something in our hand and we're going to bring it forward. Here we go. And we just activated our observer. And from now on, unlike we've been drifting through life not aware that these thoughts were actually motivating our action, making us take an action. From now on, we can say to ourselves, what is the thought that's having me take action? It's clear?
So yeah, thank you. So the observer is observing all of this. Now, what's possible in your life if you began to think? If you could interrupt, if you could listen to the music without doing the dance, if you could listen to your thoughts without taking the action, like your thought says, don't go to school, and then you start ditching.